Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you another marble tie-dye tutorial. If you are a subscriber to my channel, you may have seen my other marble tie-dye video. It's one of my most popular videos, so I wanted to make another one with a different colorway to give you guys a little bit more inspiration. So I did this one with green, pink, and gray, and I think it turned out really nice. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos about dyeing, sewing, and upcycling. So let's get started.
So first, real quick, I'm going to go over some supplies. You're going to need a 100% cotton t-shirt, Procyon dyes, also known as tie-dye, shaving cream with aloe, containers to mix everything up in, stirrers to mix, and of course you don't want to be using anything that you would use with food, and a spatula to spread out your shaving cream. You're also going to need a bucket to mix up your soda ash and water solution, soda ash to soak your t-shirt, drop cloths to keep your work area tidy, and Dawn for washing the t-shirt. So I'm going to put links for everything in the description below. And the first thing I'm going to do is start to mix up my Procyon dye. And it's really important to mix it with water first. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the shaving cream. So I tried mixing it straight in with the shaving cream and it does not dissolve. The dye does not dissolve into the shaving cream. So make sure you mix it with the water first. I'm going to add a little bit of coral here just to give it a little bit of a warmth. And first I'm going to mix it with the water and then I'm going to just dump it into the amethyst. So I kind of like to play with mixing colors. I think that's part of the fun. It's just like painting. So I'm going to just keep mixing it up with my shaving cream to make sure I like the color. I think that looks good. So I'm going to move on now to the next color. The gray color I'm going to be using is called Shiitake, and this is a really interesting Procyon dye. I actually did another tutorial for ice dyeing with this color, and it's a really pretty color that splits. I'll put the card up above for that tutorial so you can check it out. But it's a really earthy, kind of almost like a purpley gray. And it also has bits of yellow, so when you use it for ice dyeing, it splits into all these different colors and it's just so pretty. But in the solid form, it makes a really pretty woodsy gray color that looks really nice with these other colors. Next, I'm moving on to my green, and I'm going to mix in a little aquamarine, get it all mixed up. And then I'm going to add a little olive drab. Kind of want to give it a little bit of an olive feeling. When I was coming up with ideas for marble, I wanted it to be like that green marble that I always see. It's like classic with like gray and like bits of sort of red, and so that was kind of the inspiration for this colorway, and I think that looks pretty good. I also have some more olive that I mixed up before just to kind of test it, and I'm going to put that in give it a little bit more olive. So I would encourage you to kind of play with the different colors and come up with something that you like. Here they all are. They're all ready to add to the white now. Before I start to swirl the shaving cream, I'm going to mix up my soda ash solution. I'm going to use about a gallon of water and 2/3 of a cup of soda ash, and I'm just going to make sure it's mixed up really well in my bucket, and I'm going to put my t-shirt in to soak for about 20 minutes, and this is going to prep the fibers to receive the dye. So I'm just going to get it totally submerged and let it soak for 20 minutes. So I'm going to set aside my t-shirt and let it soak for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to mix up the shaving cream. So I'm going to spray out the entire can, and I'm going to add about a cup of water, but I'm just going to use a little bit of it at a time and whip it up with the spatula. It's really stiff when it comes out of the can, so I want it to kind of be softer. So now you can see the consistency is better, and I'm going to put it on my drop cloth here that I have and start to spread it out. I want to get it spread out evenly, and I'm trying to do the shape of the t-shirt. So depending on how big your t-shirt is or whatever it is you're going to be dyeing, make your shaving cream layer about that size and that shape. So I want it to be nice and even, making sure there's no deeper pockets or holes in the layer of white shaving cream. And I'm even making like a little sleeve here, if you can see. And then the next thing is to start to add the color. So I'm just giving the color a little mix before I put it down. And I'm being careful when I'm putting the color down. It looks easy, but it's a little tricky. And I want to make sure I have enough negative space to mix with the color. And I'm doing little like trios. I really like the rule of threes. I feel like that kind of looks really natural. So I'm mixing in the neutrals between the pink and the green to kind of be a buffer, because I really like that look. And now I'm going to come in with like a plastic knife, and I'm just being very delicate when I'm swirling it, and I am cleaning my knife to make sure it doesn't smear into the other colors. This dye is really strong, so whatever comes on top is going to be the dominant color. And I'm just being very delicate with the knife as I'm smearing it. And you can see I'm doing everything in one direction. My other marble tutorial, I made it more swirly, and for this one I wanted to do more of a directional pattern. So I'm adding a little bit more green, and like I said, whatever's on top is going to be the dominant color. So if you don't like what's happening, you can add more dye or more shaving cream to kind of fix or erase whatever it is you're doing. And sorry, my head is in the shot. I was just really concentrating on what I was doing, trying to make sure I liked the way that the shaving cream was swirling. So yeah, I'm adding a little bit more of the gray on top. And it's just about done. I'm going to put a little bit more white just to get that negative space that I think is so important. I really want the colors to breathe. And I'm cleaning my knife. And I'm just going to carefully mix in a little more white. So I would say save a little bit of the shaving cream for after you start to swirl it, because you never know, you might need it. So now it's done, and it's time to add the shirt. And I'm going to fold it center front. And again, I'm so sorry about the shot here. You know, with these kinds of videos I make, you only get one shot, and sometimes if it doesn't come out, it's just the way it is. But I'm going to lay it flat onto the surface and let it sit for about 10 minutes. So it's been sitting, and now I'm going to turn it over and flip it over and put it on the other side so the dye can get on the other side. Now the first pass of any kind of marbling dyeing is always going to be the most potent or the most powerful, and you can get more dye passes out of it, but it's going to be a little lighter. So now I'm going to let this one sit for another 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I took this off and then I put it on a clean tablecloth, plastic tablecloth here, and you can see the shaving cream is kind of stuck to the t-shirt. And I'm going to cover it with that plastic bag. And I also did a second pass on a pillowcase that I had just to kind of see how it would turn out. It's a lot lighter, but I think it still is pretty. So I'm going to put this plastic bag on top of the t-shirt and then fold it into a sandwich. And that is going to keep everything nice and wet for 6 to 8 hours. And I'm going to let the dye set or batch. All right, so it's been 6 to 8 hours overnight, and you can see some of the colors kind of split here, which actually I think looks pretty cool. So this one's the one I did with the second pass, and it's pretty interesting. And then under here is the shirt. So let's see how it turned out. It looks pretty much the same. I'm just gonna rinse it now. I still really like it. So that's good. I know this tablecloth's a little distracting, but I just use it for all these kinds of projects because it's super durable. So I'm gonna rinse it with cold and then wash it with Dawn. And I'm gonna just wash it by hand. And then I'm gonna let it dry. So here is a close-up of how it turned out after I washed it and dried it on hot. I think it turned out really cute, and I really like this t-shirt. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm on social media at Onyx Art Studios, and you can follow me for more inspiration. I also have online workshops. I teach live online workshops with Eventbrite, and I also have a variety of Skillshare classes. If you want to try Skillshare Premium for free for 14 days, you can use the link down in the description below and give it a shot. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!